wonder why some floral arrangements just seem right to you? They look great and balanced while others are off and you just can't seem to put your finger on why? Well, there's a mathematical reason for it, and it's called the golden ratio. The golden ratio is a principle that's found in nature, in art, in architecture. You can find evidence of the golden ratio virtually all around you. And even if you don't like math or are new to floral design, you can use the golden ratio principle to help you create a beautifully balanced floral arrangement. Let me show you 4 different ways that you can apply the golden ratio to help you create a beautiful arrangement. You can use the golden ratio to help guide you in your proportions, in your scaling, in your placement, and even in the height and structure of your arrangement. So I'm going to make a floral arrangement in this urn-shaped compote. I'm going to go over the different flowers that I have and the roles that they're going to play in the arrangement. I also want to point out that I am not using floral foam. Instead, I'm using a more sustainable mechanic, which is the chicken wire. It's a ball of chicken wire, which I reuse over and over. And I just roll it up into a ball, and it creates the structural layers that are going to hold my stems. This one is kind of snug into the compote, so I don't necessarily need to use tape to hold it down, but if something were loose, or if you were going to travel with your arrangement, you can use floral tape to secure this chicken wire to the compote. You can also just forfeit the chicken wire altogether and use just the floral tape to create a grid, and that grid can hold your stems. There are a few different layers that I'm going to use, and the flowers that occupy those layers, or that I'm going to use for those layers, are tulips. I've got a few different varieties of tulips here, all in the kind of pink and purple color span, and these are going to be my focal flowers. My supporting flowers are going to be daffodils and also some campanula. For my line flowers that help with height and structure, I have larkspur and some forsythia. For structure and texture as well, some Pyrrhus japonica, also known as Andromeda. These hellebore are also going to provide more texture and draping. And then for the last kind of accents or dancey bits that I like to add, I'm going to be using some clematis or clematis. So as you can see, this is a spring inspired floral arrangement. And all of these flowers are available now. You can harvest your Pyrrhus japonica, your forsythia from shrubs on your landscape. Your hellebores are perennials and that are blooming now. Tulips, these are early forced tulips, but soon field-grown tulips will be available as well. Daffodils were some of the first bulbs up on the garden, and as are some of these dancey, the clematis. These are from greenhouse grown, but they are spring flowers. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the Pyrrhus japonica, which is going to provide me with the line and structure. Some of these flowers perform double duty in terms of their role in the composition of the arrangement. So the Pyrrhus japonica is a woody shrub, and I'm going to slice the stem vertically. I'm just going to go up the stem. That's going to help it take in more water. It's going to create more surface area. So I'm going to use this. And I tend to create asymmetrical style of arrangement. So I usually start with one high side and one low side. Also, this Lazy Susan that I'm using is great for floral arranging because you can spin it around and get to all sides of the arrangement, so you can see what it looks like from every angle. So this is the structure that I'm going to start with. My high side, my low draping side, a little bit of drape in the front. There's still some draping on the other side. I'm going to fill this area in as well with some hellebore. Before I do that, I'm going to use some of my line flowers. So this nice piece of forsythia is going to help accentuate the high side. I might actually do two. There we go. I'm still working on the structure of the arrangement and adding in some textural layers. So now I'm going to add in my focal flowers, which are the tulips. And instead of placing my focal flowers right in the center, I'm going to place them off to the side. You can even reflex the tulip petals so they become even more of a statement piece. So I'm trying to make this a 360 piece. So what I do to the front, I'm mimicking or mirroring it in the back to some extent. So my focal tulips are here, low and to the side. As well as on this side, low and to the side. To sum up, you can use the golden ratio to help you with placement, with proportions, with spacing, and with the overall shape of your arrangement. 4 different ways that you can apply the golden ratio. First, to proportion and scale, using the 1 to 1.6 ratio, or the 1/3 to 2/3, so 60% or so. The vessel should occupy the first 1/3, and then the other 2/3 are the area that's occupied by the floral stems. So that's one example of applying the golden ratio principles. Next, I use the golden ratio principles in placing my flowers. So I used my focal flowers, which are the tulips. And as it turns out, the daffodils as well, because of their prominent color, I've used them low and to the side in groups of 3. And that just follows kind of that natural curve, because flowers naturally grow in this kind of spiral formation. Next, in terms of grouping and placing, I've used the 3-5-8 rule, which is it's an example of the Fibonacci sequence, which is also part of the golden ratio, which says that the eye follows placements in groups of 3s and 5s and 8s. That's just a more natural flow for the eye, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing. So again, my focals in groups of 3s, my textured elements in groups of 5, and then my filler flowers in 8. And then lastly, as I'm placing my stems, I am making sure that I've got them all kind of layered one on top of each other, almost in a spiral formation. And that helps, again, let the flowers feel balanced and flow naturally, because they're being placed over each other, crossing each other in a spiral formation. The golden ratio isn't just a math concept. It's nature's way of helping you create a more balanced and harmonious and effortless arrangement. We can take clues from nature to help us create beautiful arrangements. So the next time you bring flowers home or you harvest them from your garden, just be sure to apply some of these simple golden ratio techniques to create a well-proportioned, balanced, natural, garden-inspired arrangement.